This video is intended for adults and children upwards the age of 14. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is what you want, this is what you get. This is what you want, this is what you get. This is What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Nerd Crate, and welcome back to a small, short, there were several words in one kind of short, small review. Today, one of my favorite movies. I got this edition. Yes, I know, don't touch your face. They're washed, they're disinfected. Chill. One of my favorite movies from the 90s. It was released a few years back as a limited collector's edition. Richard Stanley's, not to be confused with Paul Stanley, M.A.R.K.13 Hardware. I have a problem with my speaking today, and obviously also with this, with the handling. I don't know. Let's hope for the best. It's a weird day, kind of. Super cool box for a super cool movie. Just a short breakdown so you know what you're getting into. This movie is actually the first live action adaptation of stuff from the Judge Dredd lore or universe, or what you want to call it. We'll get into that in a little bit, because there's also a reprint of the comic story that is where this is actually based off of. So normal top down in a little bit. But what is this? The year is not quite specified. We're in the future, and everything is an irradiated wasteland. We're off from a nuclear holocaust, and shit is just looking red and eerie, and all the while illuminated, kind of weird. And we're in the desert, and we are looking at a hermit. That's the first few minutes. That is picking up parts from somewhat of a battle scene. We see hands, and we see the skull of this dude here, the M.A.R.K.13 unit. We are then introduced to the main hero, Mo, that is with his buddy, I don't remember that name anymore, it's a side character, at his friend, which has a kind of a pawn shop or something. And he meets that hermit, and he likes that part, and those parts, and he wants those parts for his girlfriend Jill. Jill is an artist, and she's currently struggling with a little bit of a artist block, let's call it like that. And through that, and due to the pawn shop buddy of his named Alvy, he brings those parts. No, not loans. He trades them with the hermit, and brings those to Jill, and she connects them to her big art piece. And sadly, what they don't know is that the M.A.R.K.13 is able to rebuild himself almost any desolate state. So that's where the problems come in. There are a few other things which are also problematic with the hands, and with the stuff Jill is using for rebuilding him or building her art piece. But there's a good bit of problems coming in. But it's a dope movie. It's a 90s B movie in the vein of Terminator. It's also called a minus version of Terminator, if you will. And I like it because it has a lot of stuff in there, a lot of stuff. We have psychological horror, we have post-atomic action. It's a comic adaptation, like I said, if you will. We got a stalker in there, we got sex, we got everything. So, and good action, and amazing, not stop motion, but live action, machination effects. That's super cool. So I like it, and it's a full package. It really is a full package. Packaging's cool, very, I'm not telling you what the M.A.R.K.13 is exactly. I just say government. make that what you will. But the packaging is pretty totalitarian, so that's very cool. And I would say with this, and since you saw that already, we'll head top down and check it out. And we got it, and it's a big box. It's a beautiful big box, and I really like what they did. They put his skull on here with the flag done by Jill. You see that later, just a super minor spoiler. It's just a detail, she did it. And a line from the song The Order of Death by Public Image Limited. So nice little quote here. Hardware Mark-13, because in the States it's known as hardware, and it's been renamed in Germany, or Europe rather, as Mark-13, and it's all embossed. That's cool. It's rather hard to see because it's all super matte, but I think a little bit of the gleaming here on the edges, you should actually see it. So that's cool. Big hardware on the sides, a little bit scuffed up. It made one move already, and it's like it's been taped here. That's cool. And on the back we got the summary here and all the extras. It's a lot. 16-page booklet, deleted scenes, audio commentary by Richard Stanley, introduction by Richard Stanley, documentary, short film, 9-page reprint. We'll look into that. VHF making our soundtrack disc. That's actually completing the soundtrack that's been made years back, so that's super cool. And 2 other short movies, German trailer, picture gallery, and the details for that. So nice piece, but what's more important, what's on the inside. And it's a slip case with a nice little cloth piece to be able to lift it out safely. That's always appreciated. And once you lift this out, this is what you have, a nice box, and these are then the contents. We have the Digipack, the 16-page booklet, and we got Shark, Walter's Robo story, from whence this came, to tell it like that. So we have already some stuff from the future, and this is all very, like I said, very Judge Dredd. We see a lot of Judge Dredd like stuff here. This is like Hall of Justice here. This is actually a street judge. That is very cool. Drawing is pretty good for that time, and we see that this is pretty much our friend Mo, pretty much, and he brings the parts of the unit to Jill here. So we see a lot of stuff where it actually only a upper body, and gets back to freedom and starts killing pretty much, or rampaging through her place. So they build upon the whole story and everything, where it is rebuilding itself. This here, of course, he's not rebuilding himself, but it starts with a big twist. So that's cool. Some basis to all of this put in there. I like that. I think more editions should use that, maybe also for some comics. But that's nice. We got that. Then we have the 16-page booklet. Well, actually, I don't know what's called. In the nuclear lightning storm, it's roughly translated like that. Well, it's a nuclear storm would work way better. Little Richard Stanley quote here, what he did. Also talks a bit about Mark II, or on the Mark-13 2, the second part that was thought about, but sadly never came to fruition. In one of the making ofs, and a lot of cool details here. And yeah, here we got it, bam, Public Image Limited, The Order of Death. That's pretty much the leitmotif for the whole thing. Here we got the Hermit at the start, on unraveling the parts of the Mark-13 amidst some mines from the desert. So right, and here we got one of 2 cameos. Iggy Pop cameos as Angry Bob, a radio announcer. That is cool. And at the very start we have Lemmy Kilmister, rest in peace, from Motorhead as a cab driver, a post-nuclear cab driver, a swimming cab in, I don't know, moldy and foamy, disgusting harbor water. Yuck, horrible. So those are two very cool cameos. And then we got the actual thing itself, D-Pack. Like I said, again, very totalitarian, black with white on top, not more. And I think it fits the style very well. And we have the 4-disc, super minimalistic, but it fits the movie. We have the movie, of course, here on this one. On this 2 we got more extras. We got disc 3 with more, with the movie on a DVD. That's right, that's on the Blu-ray, that's on the DVD. The movie comes with a great master on the Blu-ray. Unfortunately, the sound is only in 2-channel, in dual channel, and the which is English, right? And the German comes in 5.1. I choose to watch it in English though. And we have the complimentary soundtrack on disc 4. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. The picture quality is great. The sound quality, even on the dual channel, is very, very good. When you put it over a 5.1 system, it still works nicely. Still a great sound. And the box itself is very much honoring the movie and what it is. It's got now a cult following. I read actually the script for the second movie. It was put on the internet in the open by Richard Stanley. It reads itself pretty crazy. If you've watched this, I don't want to spoil you. It's an old movie, but I don't want to spoil. If you like a little bit more B-movie approach, this is for you. Still now, the final thoughts. So, it's not super premium, you know, but I think this is a great full package for a cool retro trash sci-fi movie from the 90s. And I'm happy I got this. I checked out the DVD menu and the quality real quick in front of you, in front of this, so I can actually tell you if it's good or not. And the transfer is excellent for this, especially when you think that there's I don't know the actual label, but there's a company in Germany that did a transfer back at the early 2000s, I would say, and it was horrible. It was under the moniker Red Edition, so supposedly super brutal, but it was chopped to pieces, and they were able to have, so-called media, was able to have the actual transfer, and it's looking really, really good, and it's a lot of fun to watch this after all this time. So how does it fare up? I'm super biased, but it's a great movie. Like on the packaging, the thing is, it is very bland, but it fits, because when you would think, or when you would actually take the cover art from the original movie, it would have been a little bit too flashy, and maybe also if you put it some atomic styled color selections, I don't know, I think it would be weird. So I don't know what I can tell you, because I think something is missing, but I can't put my finger on it. So with this, having this more simple in case overdone, I think I enjoy it. But since I don't know what it is that is missing, I took off 1 point, but only that, you know, I can't pinpoint it. Everything else is pretty much super dope. And it's enjoyable. Like I said, the picture quality is amazing, the sound is great. If you got German, you got 5.1. If you got English, it's like I said, dual channel, but it's still working, and it's got volume to it. You know, there's some flash to it. You can work with that. And the extras, we don't really need to talk about the extras. There's a lot of it. You have a complimentary soundtrack for the one original existing. So the score and the soundtrack are now pretty much complete. And The story is exactly what you would expect, with a little bit of an open end. But that's all I will say to you. And as the final thing, as the final negative, because it's still functional, the disk menu has a few animated things that's going into the picture, and then you can use it how you see fit. So not any much more that I can tell you. Otherwise, this is a movie that was pretty much, yeah, received back in the day as a piece of shit. Talking about piece of shit, we got new t-shirts on our Teespring. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you did. Please give me a like, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. And there are more movie reviews on my channel and on my Instagram, where you can also follow me. You got toy news, and you got my photo sets, and we got the Collector's Bay on Patreon and on YouTube, and now also on Teespring. We put the hammer down on my Teespring, and Dan and me joined forces, and now we got a Teespring. So you find shirts of us. So that is very cool. And otherwise, I can only tell you, yes, I know this was a short one. There's something big coming, but it's taking some time. But on Sunday, we will look at a new Storm Collectibles review. I'm looking at him right now. Ken from Ultra Street Fighter 2. Looking forward to that guy. Beautiful piece, beautiful figure, one of my favorite characters. I hope you're looking forward to it. And until then, I wish you a nice weekend. The weather is fine again. There were a few clouds coming up, but now it's turning good again. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.